Okay, so right, let me go on. Now this is First Kings chapter 15, verse 6. So in the video before this, I went over that Maacah is not the daughter of Absalom, but she is the daughter of Absalom by being her by being his granddaughter through his daughter Tamar, and then another man laid with Tamar and then got Maacah, which here you can see it again. She is the daughter of Absalom, and somewhere it's spelled Abishalom here. It's spelled Abishalom here. It's the same thing. And then here she is called, so Maacah is called Micaiah, and she is now called the daughter of Udiel of Gibeah. Right, so it's not a confusion. It is, you need to understand what you're reading, because like I said, a lot of people want to discredit the Bible. Acts chapter 8 verse 30. And Philip ran thither to him, and he heard him read the prophet Isaiah, and said, Understandest what thou readest? And he said, How can I, except some man should guide me? And he desired Philip that he would come up and sit with him. So if you don't understand these scriptures and stuff like that, you do need a guide that will put you on a path in order for you to be able to walk. And then, Lord willing, from there on you're going to walk. But somebody needs to put you on that path, or put you in a barn, and then you stay in the barn and stuff like that, Lord willing, of course. And the Most High saith, Jeremiah 3:15, and the Heavenly Father will give you pastors according to his heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding of the scriptures. That's what he will do. So he's doing it. He's doing it. Started with the other apostles at Great Millstone on down, and all the men that teach in their mannerisms, meaning they got the doctrine of them. Wait, sorry. The doctrine of them given through the doctor of the Heavenly Father given through them, just like how the prophet comes and talk to you. I'm gonna read somewhere of the prophet that came to talk to, I forgot who, but he got angry at the prophet. But it was the word of the Lord, and he locked him up. But I'll get to that later. So sorry. So 1 Kings chapter 15 verse 6. And there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days of his life. Now the rest of the acts of Abijam and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah? And there was war between Abijam and Jeroboam, which is mentioned here. Well, I think this one is when he died. But yeah. This is his other son. Oh yeah, it's 13. It's 2 Chronicles chapter 1 verse 13. Sorry, man. 2 Chronicles chapter 13 verse 1, sorry. He fought against Jeroboam and stuff like that. He went to Ephraim, which is where Jeroboam was. So yeah, he fought against him. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that, and then I will go back over here. So 1 Kings 15 and 8. And Abijam slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of David. And Asa, his son, reigned in his stead. So now we're going to read about Asa, Lord willing. I'm going to read about Asa, and Lord willing, you are reading along. And in the 20th year of Jeroboam, king of Israel, reigned Asa over Judah. So Jeroboam was already reigning And then Asa of Judah began to, he started to reign. And 41 years reigned he in Jerusalem. So Asa reigned 41 years. And his mother's name was Ma'akah, the daughter of Abishalom. So now you might be questioning yourself like, huh? How can his mother be the same mother? Because this is talking about his grandmother. As I gave you the example here in the video before, that I think I clicked it away. Well, here. Luke chapter 1, verse 32. Yahushua, he shall be great, and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And Yahweh the Power shall give unto him the throne of his father David. Because that's his multiple times great grandfather. He is still called the Son of David. And that goes also for... where was it again? That goes also for... wait a minute. It's right here. So, 1 Kings chapter 15, verse 3. And he walked in all the sins of his father. So who walked in all the sins of his father? Abijam, which he had done before him. And Abijam is the son of Rehoboam. And his heart was not perfect toward Yahweh. His heart was not perfect with Heavenly Father Yahweh, his power, as the heart of David, his father. So, is David Abijam his father? No, he is not. He is his, let me see. He's his great-grandfather. But he's still called the son of David. And David is still called his father. So that's the example that's here with the mother now too. 1 Kings 15 and 10. And 41 years reigned he in Jerusalem. Asa reigned 41 years in Jerusalem. And Asa his mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of Abishalom, but it's Absalom. And what is this talking about? It's talking about his grandmother. And Asa did that which was right in the eyes of the Lord, as did David his father. Again, David is called his father, but it's clearly his great-grandfather. So this is how you explain the one of here, verse 2, where it says that Maacah is the daughter of Absalom. And you can also catch it here, and also here, 2 Chronicles 11. I just showed 2 Chronicles 13, and now I'll show 2 Chronicles 11. Then you can see here is Maacah, which bear him Abijah, because Rehoboam took Maacah, the daughter of Absalom, and then he begat Abijah. And we are reading now about Abijah, but Abijah died, and then Abijah had a son, which his name was Asa. And Asa, his mother, is Maacah, the daughter of Absalom. And yeah, it's his grandmother. That's the point. Okay. And Asa did that. Okay, I already read that. So let me read it again. And Asa did that which was right in the sight of Yahweh, as did David his father. And he took away the Sodomites out of the land. See? So that's a good thing. You need to kick them out the land, right? They were Sodomites of Judah. And removed all the idols that his father had made. And also Maacah his mother, which is his grandmother. Even her he removed from being queen. She was not queen as ruling. She has something to say. I order you to go to war and stuff like that. No. It was just as the queen. She gets to do things, but not rule. Sorry about that, I'm drinking. Because, and why did he kick her out from being a queen? He removed her from her position, sorry. From her status, I should say. Why? Because she had made an idol in a grove. So it says she made an idol in a grove. So the grove is also representative of, idol worship and stuff like, well, an idol, because it goes into the Queen of Heaven, actually. Let me see, verse 13. So this word here, idol, if I click on it, which is Hebrew 4:6, of course you already know, horrid thing and horrible thing, because a lot of these idols were child sacrifice things and stuff like that, or doing rituals with pussy blood. Yeah. Until this day they still do those type of things. I'm not saying that she was doing it, but I'm telling you that these idols were things that people, those things come with it, like in Hollywood, there's a few things that you should already be aware of. Sodomite thing, you bending over, blood sacrifice, you doing weird things, all that type of crazy stuff, sleeping with animals. Okay, so now I'm gonna check out the word grove, which is Hebrew 8:4-2, which goes into Ashtaroth. So what is Asheroth? Oh, Asherah, but yeah, it's the same thing. They just have different names. It's a sexual deity type of female type thing, crazy stuff. But it's also this one, which is the Easter bunny chick, but it's basically the Queen of Heaven. And then they have just different, it's also Gaia. Remember Gaia from Captain Planet? They made sure that they made her a so-called black female, but she's not a full-blown black woman. They made her a little bit brown or something. Yeah, yeah. Because they want to still use, how you call that thing? When they want to promote wickedness, they will put the black woman or the so-called black man, and then you see, you're invited, you're a part of us. I represent you too. You are also acknowledged, and then they will participate in that devil stuff because they think that they are accepted. No, he's just using you for that portway or that gateway toward inclusion, so that you are now a part of destruction. You're included. With anything else, he will not include you, like successful things and just great things in his little messed up, world, this world. But with the demonic type of things, he will invite you and include you. Inclusivity. Right. Anyway. So it says here, sacred trees or poles set up near an altar. So the groves represents also poles set up near an altar. And what type of poles? These types of things. It doesn't necessarily specifically mean totem poles, but you have the totem poles of the Native Americans, right? But then you also have the totem poles of Africa. They're not called totem poles, but I don't know what you call them. Because totem poles is very known, and yeah, it's I don't know how you say it, man. It's commercial. That's what I mean. It's commercial. Everybody knows about the totem poles, but the ones in Africa, a lot of people don't see it. But yeah, they come from there, and they have it often near altars. In this case, I don't see an altar near. But yeah, they, like this, for example, I don't see an altar near. Maybe there's one there, I don't know. But yeah, you have these things in your houses, for example. Here. Yeah, don't be putting, well, it's not really, look, it is wood, so it's not a bad thing. But if you do it with the mindset, look, this having this in your house is nothing wrong. But you do have the three sisters. You do have the three sisters, Alat and whatever the hell. Manat, Alat, and another one. You do have these things. You know, this is actually a cow. This is Baal, the Allah thing that they worship. The thing on his head is the moon. It's the horn, sorry man. Yeah, it is the moon, but it's the horn. It's the horn of Baal. See the horn? That's what it is. That's the crescent moon. They mask it as if they worship the moon. They're worshiping a cow. That's what they're doing. They just playing it off as if it is something else. It's a freaking cow. That's what they're doing. This is what they're doing. Yeah? That crescent moon thing because the Babylonians also had it. The crescent moon that they used to worship. Here, Babylon. Oh yeah, I got it right here. Baal. See? New moon worship. This is the moon worship thing, bro. And they got that moon thing too. They play it off as if it is some kind of deity it is a deity. But they play it off as if it is a deity of good and peace and all that type of stuff. They don't know what. Look, these common soldiers upon the ground, they don't know what the hell is going on. They got their head up their ass. They don't know. It's the elites that know. The elite of the Arabs. That's why you see things like this. Here, that's why you see things like this. You got the Pope kissing the Quran, and then you have the other vice versa. And this is not Photoshop, but with the Photoshop, these devils that are so-called creating, they are now creating the possibility of people that will now be able to say like, oh, it's Photoshop. That's the creation. You know who did that? That this guy Andrew. Virginia, he said that this was Photoshop. This was taken way before people had fancy computers to have Photoshop. No, but he said AI. Sorry, he didn't say Photoshop. He said AI. This was before the AI thing. And back in the days, it was Photoshop. But even then, in the 80s or 90s when this picture was taken, somewhere else, I don't think it's 80s. Somewhere, I don't know. But when this picture was taken, it was a Polaroid type of film, and you can see somebody's finger here. So clearly this person took it, and he couldn't photograph that good because he showed his finger. And I had that problem back in the days too, when you had these type of Polaroids cameras. well, these type of ones. But way older looking. Yeah, this is what you get out of it, yeah. And then your finger would be messing. it would be just, get your unprofessional, so. Then your finger comes on it, so yeah. On the shot. But yeah, these are the type of things that they do worship, and they swear up and down. I don't swear, they do. They swear up and down that this is not it. Well, these people are laughable, but yeah. So you need to watch out. Look, I don't know what to tell you, man. Just watch out what you have in your house. It may be some kind of devil thing, and people might say like, "Oh yeah, but I'm not worshiping and I don't know about it." You're right, but certain items are cursed, and if you have it in your house, you are calling upon curses in your house without you worshiping that thing, man. You don't need to bow down to it. You just need to have it in your house. Open your house up to these spirits and entities and even other dimensions. Okay, enough of this. Let me go back to where I was. So basically, Ashtaroth is talking about, it's talking about The Queen of Heaven. They have a lot of names. They have Valkyrie. The Queen of Heaven is Valkyrie. I have a Valkyrie? Yeah, this one is what I'm looking for. Valkyrie. If you see a woman with bird legs or with bird wings, yeah, that's the Queen of Heaven. That's just another form of her. You have another form of Baal, which is Baphomet, which is the goat. That's why they keep on bringing these type of Valkyries in these movies, these Marvel movies. This is from Thor. And she's some kind of Valkyrie warrior woman. And if you go to the scriptures, then you will see Ashtaroth. She was an actual warrior woman that when they prayed to her, they would win wars, man. I can't find it right now. I don't think I'm spelling it good. Yeah, here she already stands on two lions. It looked like two mouses, but it represents two lions. I've seen other pictures where they draw it a little bit better. Well, this is not a picture. I mean, this is a statue, so. But I've seen other statues and other hieroglyphs. Let me type that in. Oh yeah, I think this is what it is. Oh yeah, look here. It says Queen of Heaven. Of course, they put an Edomite. It's not an Edomite. But they want to make everything theirs. But it is a dark-skinned woman, but it's not an Israelite. It's from Mesopotamia, so some kind of Shemite woman. Hieroglyphs. And okay, look, this is what I'm talking about. Here. This one. She always has her foot on the lion. And now they worship her as how you call that thing again, man? Damn. The Easter Bunny female thing. It's her. With the wings and stuff like that. And also the Mizraim also followed it. Canaan also followed it. You know, a female version of Baal. She is basically the female version of Baal. You know, some men, they don't want to worship men. They want to worship a woman. We came out the woman. She's the greatest in the existence. So they make her then. They worship her. And then others want to worship a man, so they do Baal. Others want to worship an animal, so they do the cow. Others want to worship another animal, so they do the owl. Others want to worship another insect, maybe. Another animal, I wanted to say, but it's an insect. Which is the sacred, they call it the sacred scarab. You know, sacred scarab? There's no goddamn sacred scarab, but they call it that, you know, so there's no such thing sacred about this. It walks around with feces. Or actually I should say the holy scarab. These are the things that people started to worship. Insects, animals, fishes. Holy fishes. They do it this now, but it's actually Dagon. This one. And it's not Saigon, it's Dagon. And nowadays they have Aquaman, which is Dagon. He's that fish idol god thingy that they worship. Aquaman. Dagon. You wasted your time escaping from jail, Dagon. You're Dagon. But they still put Dagon in the cartoon because they know that it is him. But they mention him as if it's not him. It's him. This one. And then he's fighting Dagon or something like that. Here. Aquaman versus Dagon. Aquaman versus Dagon. So, look, I don't think I need to keep on continually showing you this because, yeah, let me just go back to the scriptures. But the point is that all these things are just one. but they split it off in multiple things. You know, some people like blue, some people like orange. So let's say the devil thing was blue, but they don't like that color. Then they make their own. Then they make it orange or whatever color they like. You know, that's what people do. That's what people do. So basically, okay, now the groves is talking about the trees and stuff like that. So I don't think I need to go on further with this one. Okay. So he removed her from being queen because she had her idol in the groves. She had her idols in the forests. Because that's most of the time where they had their idols, in the groves, which is a place in the forest or the woods where they have their idols set up. And Asa destroyed her idol and burnt it by the brook Kidron, which is because it's wood. You don't burn stone. You smash it with a hammer or something like that. You don't burn it. What you going to burn stone? What do you think? This is LA fires and stuff like that? That's how you call that that way? This is a laser beam. There's no fire in existence other than laser that can do this and intense heat that can disintegrate this to make it look like a garbage heap from above. Here. Look. Doesn't it look like that? Doesn't it look like that, like some sort of gray color? Doesn't it look like that? That disintegrated stone here, doesn't it look like garbage, like a garbage heap? If that fire was so hot, how did it not burn the rest of the place? Like that's impossible. This is a normal house fire, and this is a normal house fire. This is what fire does. A normal fire. And this is possible too. You know, the fire didn't slap over. Maybe they just rescue, like wet this side, or rescue, so-called rescued it or something. And sometimes the fire also dies out. You know, but this is a normal aftermath of a normal fire. Like what it will do with the house. It's not going to turn something to ashes. But, you know, let me leave that. Let me just leave that. So, basically, you don't burn stone. You smash it. And then you can grind it up in pieces and stuff like that by keep on smashing it. By keeping on smashing it. But anyway, let me go on. So, it says right here. And he burnt it by the brook Kidron. But the high places were not removed. He was supposed to remove that. Now you do have that we worship also in the high places, but in this case, it was the high places of the wicked. Because the righteous also had high places and hills and mountains where we worshipped Yahweh. But then King Solomon came and made one place, which is the Mount Moriah, which is Mount Zion. Well, it is in the land of Moriah, in one of the mountains called Mount Moriah, but there's many mountains there. Let me read it for you. Genesis 22:2. And the Heavenly Father said unto Abram, Take now thy son, thine only son Isaac, whom thou lovest, and get thee in the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the many mountains which I will tell thee of in the land of Moriah. And where is the land of Moriah? Second Chronicles 3:1. Then Solomon began to build the house of the Heavenly Father, where the Ark of the Covenant was put in. And he built it at Jerusalem. Where did he build it? Specifically, in Mount Moriah. He built it there. in the land of Moriah, the land of Moriah is where Jerusalem is. That's like saying Flatbush Avenue in New York, in, what's that whole region called? I don't know. Not Brooklyn. Well, yeah, I think it's Brooklyn, right? So you have America, and within America, you have a place called New York. And within New York, you have Brooklyn. And then within Brooklyn, you have Flatbush Avenue, which is a street. Okay. That's basically what it says right here. So in the land of Moriah, you have Jerusalem. And then in the land of Moriah also, which Jerusalem is a part of within, you also have different other mountains also in the land of Moriah. So one of the mountains in the land of Moriah, there is where King Solomon picked a mountain to, well, it's actually the same one that the Heavenly Father almost sacrificed Isaac up in there. But let me go on. Where Yahweh appeared unto David his father is mentioned in 1 Chronicles chapter 1. Nay? Let me get it for you because I'm confusing myself. When I'm saying something different than what I'm thinking. Sorry about that. 1 Chronicles chapter 21, verse 14 on down. Then you will see it's going to talk about it. And also 2 Samuel, I think 23. No, 24. Here. A little bit. It's not mentioned a lot, but it's a little bit. Sorry. Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah. In the place, yeah, you can read this for yourself. Let me get back to over here. So, but the high places were not removed. 1 Kings chapter 15, verse 14. He didn't remove that. Nevertheless, so even though he didn't do that, Ahaz's heart was perfect with Yahweh all his days. And he brought in the things which his father had dedicated. You know, he made them holy and all these type of things. And the things which he himself had dedicated in the house of the Heavenly Father. So the house of the Lord used to be the tabernacle where the Ark of the Covenant was in, and now the Ark of the Covenant is in the house that King Solomon built. Well, in this time. Silver and gold and vessels. You know, other vessels of gold and stuff like that. And there was war between Asa and Baasa, king of Israel, all their days. And Baasa, king of Israel, went up against Judah and built Ramah, that he might not suffer any to go out or come in to Asa, king of Judah, because he was afraid of losing people that would still want to join forces with Judah. Like, you know what, fucking man, y'all be worshiping these two calves and stuff like that. I'm gonna go back to Yahweh Bashem Shai. I don't want to stay around here. So he prevented them from leaving. And I'll just read a little bit here concerning, let me see what I have here. 2 Chronicles 16. Okay, so I'll read a little bit about the story here in 2 Chronicles chapter 16. Now this is 14. I don't think I need that right now. You know what? I'll read this too. 2 Chronicles chapter 14, verse 9. And there came out against them Zerah the Ethiopian with an host of 1,000,000 and 300 chariots, and came unto Marashah. 1,000,000 is talking about 1,000,000. So I'm gonna get that for you here. 2 Chronicles 14 and 9. Here, 1,000,000 men. 1,000,000. So 1,000,000. That's 1 and 3 zeros, and then 1 and 3 zeros. It might look like it's like 6 numbers and stuff like that. It's 1,000. It's 1,000,000. Sorry, it's 7. 3, 3, and then 1. It's actually 7. So they came with 1,000,000 men to fight against the Israelites, right? And it was all Cushites. And also another nation was with them. Sorry, I forgot that one. It was not only the Cushites. Another nation was with them. So it says right here, verse 10. Then Uzzah went. So it like, wait, the reason why I'm reading this is because it says here, and there was war between Uzzah and Bajah and stuff like that. But there was many other wars. But let me go on back over here. 2nd Chronicles chapter 14, verse 10. Then Uzzah went out against him, and they set the battle in array in the valley of Zahathath at Mareshah. And Uzzah cried unto Yahweh his power, and said, Yahweh, it is nothing with thee to help, whether with many or with them that have no power. Help us, O Yahweh our power, for we rest on thee. In thy name we go against this multitude, 1,000,000 men. O Yahweh, thou art our power. Let no man prevail against thee. So Yahweh smote the Cushites, which are Ethiopians, the Cushites, even in the other translation, it shows you that it's Cush. If I'm correct. No? Let me see. Yeah, here, Cushites. These are the sons of Ham. These are the sons of Ham. This is the truth. And you can read that here in 2nd Chronicles 16. That's why I said I forgot. Here, the Libyms. But you don't read a lot about Put. Now, here, let me, here. So, here it shows you the Libyans, right? So if you go here, Lubims. So it says here 2nd Chronicles 16 and 8. It says here Lubims, right? I'll read it for you here. 2nd Chronicles 16 and 8. Were not the Ethiopians and the Lubims a huge host? That it was 1,000,000 of them together. So now I'm gonna look up this word, Lubims, which is Hebrew 3864. Hebrew 3864. Sorry. Libyans, empty-hearted, a people of northern Africa, west of Mizraim. Lubims, But if I'm correct, it's actually the. So here it says Libyans and stuff like that, right? And here it says Lubims. So in the Hebrew it says one word, but in the English it says sometimes Lubims, Lubim here Lubims, but it also says Libyans in other chapters like Daniel, and also in let me see where. Yeah, only in Daniel actually it says Libyans. But if I'm correct, that was Put. Let me double check that, sorry. So Cain and his sons, and then you have here Put, which is Hebrews 6:3-1-6. Let me see. No, it's not that one. Hebrews 3:6-1-6. Hebrew 3:6-1-6. No. What was it that? Look, yes it is. So it says here, commonly rendered it Libya. Put. The river Put and all that type of stuff. But yeah, these are Hamites. The Put is a son of Ham. And it's not a Persian tribe because he's a son of Ham. What are you talking about, devil? So this thing is wrong. Because it's the son of Ham. The Persians are Shemites. The Persians are Shemites. You know how I know? Because it says it right here. Genesis chapter 10. And then you go down to here, 21. Which, 22 actually. The children of Shem. Elam. That's it. Elam is the forefather of the Persians. Genesis chapter 10 verse 22. And then you click here on the Hebrew word, which is Hebrew 5:8-6-7. It's a lot of definitions and stuff like that, but it's Elam. It's Persians. Elamites. Here. Elam. PRN of province of Persia. Persia. Iran was called Persia. Here. What name was called Iran? It was called Persia. And then they changed the name to Iran. Persia. Here, Persia on the map, Iran. In the English, they say Iran, whatever. Iran. So, Iran, okay, whatever. It was called Persia back in the days. This was not far away ago because I remember the name change. I remember I was alive. So, it was not like before my lifetime. Persia. What? No. I was alive, right? Didn't I? I'm not swearing. I actually want to say I'm not going to swear, but wow, I thought it was but it was taught to me like, oh damn, shit. It's good that I looked it up because I would be looking like a liar, but I was taught this in the school times and stuff like that. I was taught this, so. I don't know. Oh, that's crazy. I remember this being in the news. Maybe they solidified it or something. Like they made it. Okay, that's crazy. I really need to go check it. Okay, let me leave that. I thought it was the 80s. Because that's what. Sorry. I thought it was in the 90s because that's when I learned about it like that. Maybe I didn't pay attention. We didn't pay attention in school. Okay, cool. Anyway, so that's Elam. So it's not what they say that it is. They're lying to you. The people that wrote that they're lying to you. The Persians are not the Put are not Persians. Okay, it's Ham. It's Libya. That's what it's talking about. So the Lubims are Libya. It's not a Persian tribe. They're lying to you. How can you be a son of Ham and then be a son of Shem? Bloodlines don't work like that. You will perpetually be one bloodline of one people. You can't switch. Women can switch. Well, you can take them and still make. If I was to take a Hamite woman, the child would still be what I am. And if a Hamite man would take any of the daughters of Israel, or any Edomites, or any Chinese, Japanese, those children are Hamites. Sorry, not Canaanites, Hamites. So let me leave that. Okay. Right. But you don't read a lot about them in the scriptures. I have looked a little bit. I didn't look hard, but so far that I have read, you don't really see them. We fought against them often and stuff. Not really 100% often compared to the Canaanites, the Mizraim, and what's the other one again? Mizraim, Canaan, and Philistines. You know, well, Philistines are actually Mizraim, but yeah, I'm not talking about that one. Cushites, man, that's what I'm thinking. It's right here. But yeah, we didn't fight the put people often compared to the Cushites, compared to the Canaanites, and compared to the Mizraimites. Anyway, so Yahweh smote the Cushites before Asa and before Judah, and the Cushites fled. Okay, so that's that part. I don't need to read the rest. Let me see. They could not recover themselves. Okay, cool. So let me now go to the book of First Chronicles, Second Chronicles, chapter 16, verse 1. In the 6th and 13th year of the reign of Asa, Baal, king of Israel, came up against Judah and built Ramah. So Baal is the king of Israel, and Asa is Judah, to the intent that he might let none go out or come in into Asa, king of Judah, because he want to keep the people there, and he doesn't want anyone to be able to go in or to come from them to, to Israel to either fight or do whatever. Then Asa brought out silver and gold out of the treasures of the house of Yahweh. Well, I don't want to read this actually. Let me see here. I'll read that later. I'll read this later to let me get back to up here. So, okay, verse 17. Okay, I already read that. Let me see. 1 Kings chapters 15, verse 18. Then Asa took all the silver and the gold that were left in the treasures of the house of Yahweh, and the treasures of the king's house, which is King David, and delivered them into the hand of his servants. And King Asa sent them to Ben-Hadad, the son of Tabrimon, the son of Hezion, king of Aram, that dwelt in Damascus, saying, this word means Aram, which is Syria. There is a league between me and thee. So this is what Asa said. And between my father and thy father, behold, I have sent unto thee a present of silver and gold. Come, and break thy league with Baasha, king of Israel, that he may depart from me. Because Aram was helping him. Because the kingdom of Israel, they often before made leagues with Aram and also with Esau. But here, for example, with Aram, and here in 2 Kings chapter 16, they made it with Aram and Esau. If you read the whole chapter, you will see. But it was more with Aram, which is Syria. And the reason I say Aram is because it's confusing with Assyria and Syria. It's confusing. It's irritating. So I just say Aram and Ashur, which is the natural word that is actually written there. But Esau used these confusing words to describe two different people, two different nations. Kingdoms, I should say. Two different kingdoms, because they're both Shemites. But I mean like two different kingdoms of two different brothers of two different bloodlines. Okay, I'll just glance over this one, okay? Now, Isaiah chapter 7, verse 1. And it came to pass in the days of Ahaz, the son of Jotham, the son of Uzziah, the king of Judah, that Rezin, the king of Aram, and Pekah, the son of Remaliah, king of Israel. See? It was the king of Israel and Aram. They worked together. Went up toward Jerusalem to war against it, but could not prevail against it. And it was told the house of David, saying, Aram is confederate with Ephraim. And his heart was moved, and the heart of his people. And the trees of the wood are moved with the wind. It's symbolically. It's basically the terrible tempest that they would bring upon them, and they was afraid of them. But the point is that they worked together. They was confederate with one another. And here you will see they was confederate again. Sorry, they was confederate again against Judah. But this time they had the king of Assyria also. So Aram and Ashur. But this time Ashur fought against Aram, So yeah, and stuff like that. And then they slew. So Assyria slew Syria. See, it's kind of confusing. So I say Ashur they killed Aram because of Judah. Because Ahaz, the king of Judah, he convinced Ashur to fight against Aram. Because they had but the king of Israel, they had a pact with those people. And then the king of Judah went to their neighbors and said, hey, they joined together, help me. Help me, then fight them. And he did. In the beginning he didn't, but later on he did. Okay, enough of this. Then the reason why I bring this up is to show you that These people are mercenaries. They are for hired. You know, they join forces with whoever pays more money, which is not. That's not somebody that you should. You know, have you ever seen a movie where somebody is sent to kill someone, and then he says, "What did he offer you? I'll pay you triple. Please don't kill me. Kill him." The Aram people, or even ashore, they would take that money. They would take it because their loyalty is with money. Anyway, so let me go back to over here. Wait, let me see. I'll get back to this later on. To the 2nd Chronicles. I don't need this anymore. Sorry. I'll get back to this one, Lord willing. Lord willing. So 1 Kings chapter 15, verse 19. There is a league between me and thee, and between my father and thy father. Behold, I have sent unto thee a present of silver and gold. Come and break thy league, which you already had, with Baasha, king of Israel. He's not those people were. They did not. Let me see. Those Aram people were not only in league with Baasha, they were in league with other kings of Israel also, from time to time, and they did it already often. So yeah, just to let you know that he may depart from me. You know, get him off me, you know. So Ben-Hadad hearkened unto King Asa, king of Judah, and sent captains of the host, which he had against the cities of Israel, and smote Ijon and Dan, which were our cities. The Danites were there in Naphtali, but yeah, it's still a city named Dan in Naphtali. And Abel Beth Makkah is also a place. It's also a place. And all Sineloth with all the land of Naphtali, which is basically this one here. I think it's this one. Here, Naphtali, but it's not that one that I want. This one. You see that place over there? Ijon and Dan. So they took that. And the Armenians, that's Aram. This one right here, that is Aram. They came and they killed them. They killed them for Judah. For them here. Judah and Benjamin were together. Yeah. So okay, that. Now going on. And it came to pass when Baasha heard thereof, that he left off building of Ramah, and dwelt in Tirzah. Then King Asa made a proclamation throughout all Judah. None was exempted. And they took away the stones of Ramah, and the timber thereof, wherewith Baasha had builded. And King Asa built with them Geba of Benjamin and Mizpah. So he reinforced those cities with the equipment. Is it equipment? I don't think it's called equipment. With the leftover stuff that was supposed to be built against him. He took that and then built his own. I forgot the name of the thing that is left behind. It's not debris. It's not equipment neither. Is it equipment? I don't think so. Yeah, whatever. Materials. With the leftover materials. He took it and he built his own stuff. The rest of all the acts of Asa, and all his might, and all that he did, and the cities which he built, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? Nevertheless, in the time of his old age, he was diseased in his feet. So he had an illness. Asa had an illness Okay, so now I can read now here what that illness was. I think it was here, right? Yeah. Well, it's not going to say the illness, sorry, but it's going to go a little bit more into it. So, 2 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 2. Okay, yeah, Asa brought the silver. Okay, let me read it again. Then Asa brought out silver and gold out of the treasures of the house of the Lord Yahweh and the king's house, which he was not supposed to do. The gold of the king's house is of the king, and the gold of the Heavenly Father's house is of the Heavenly Father. What are you doing? But anyway. And sent it to Ben-Hadad, king of Aram, that dwelled at Damascus, saying, There is a league between me and thee. And by the way, I'm reading 2 Chronicles chapter 16 right now. It is repeated again, but a little bit more in detail. As there was between my father and thy father, behold, I have sent thee silver and gold. Go, break thy league with Baasha, king of Israel, that he may depart from me, because he was on his neck. And Ben-Hadad hearkened unto King Asa, and sent the captains of his armies against the cities of Israel. And they smote Ijon and Dan, and Abel Maam, and all the store cities of Naphtali. They didn't mention this one there, but they mention it here. And it came to pass, when Baasha heard it, that he left off building Ramah, and let his work cease, and then they grabbed the materials. Then Asa, king of all Judah, and they carried... Then Asa, the king of... Then Asa, king... Then Asa, the king, took all Judah, and they carried away the stones of Ramah, and the timber thereof, wherewith Baasha was building, and he built therewith Geba and Mizpah. So the leftover materials that they had to leave in haste for their lives, they took it. And at that time, Hanani the seer came to Asa, king of Judah, and said unto him, so now a prophet came to him, to Asa, to talk to him. And when the prophet comes, a lot of people don't like it, especially people in power that have power to kill. They don't like it. If you prophesy against them, they hate it. But it's not him, it's the Lord. So, yeah. This is what the prophet said, and said unto him, because thou hast relied on the king of Aram, and not relied on Yahweh thy power, therefore is the host of the king of Aram escaped out of thine hand. Escape out of thine hand, because you're not gonna win anymore, because these people are mercenaries, and they will come and fight you eventually, and you're not gonna win against them, because since you trusted in them, I'm gonna make him beat your ass. But that's in another story. Sorry, I didn't say that's in another story. I said that's another story. Another story. So verse 8, were not the Ethiopians and the Lubims a huge host, which are Libyans? Put. So the Cushites and their brother Putites, with very many chariots and horsemen, 1,000,000. Yet because thou didst rely on Yahweh, he delivered them into thine hand. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth, to show himself strong on the behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him. Herein thou hast done foolishly. Therefore from thence thou shalt have wars, and your allies are going to come and fight against you. Those same people that you helped with the gold of the Lord and the gold of the king, which is very disrespectful, but yeah. Anyway, then Asa was wroth with the seer. He was furious, and put him in a prison house, for he was in rage with him because of this thing. as if the prophet did it himself. It was the Heavenly Father. But yeah, certain type of people, when they have power, all their rationality flies away from them. Even when they don't have power, rage can make you do things that you probably don't want to do it if you sit down and think about it. And Uzzah oppressed some of the people at the same time. So some of the Israelites, the Judites actually, and Benjamites, he oppressed them. Probably took their stuff or forced them to do certain things and stuff like that. And behold, the acts of Uzzah, first and last, lo, they are written in the book of the kings of Judah and Israel. And Uzzah, in the 39th year of his reign, was diseased in his feet. Something happened, until his disease was exceeding great, so it became worse. Yet in his disease he sought not to the Lord Yahweh, but to the physicians. Now what did the Lord say concerning that? He said, the book of Sirach 38, verse 1 until 15 actually, but I am actually looking for here, verse 9. My son, so the book of Sirach 38 and 9. My son, in thy sickness be not negligent. Sorry, be not negligent, but pray unto Yahweh, and he will make thee whole. Leave off from sin, and order thine hands aright, and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness. He didn't do that. Give it sweet savor. Back in the days, we used to give burnt offerings and stuff like that, or just, because a sweet savor is something that you burn for a sweet smell, or incense and stuff like that, myrrh and all that there, and a memorial of fine flour, and make a fat offering as not being. So basically, don't spare it, give enough. And also, we don't do that no more. Sacrifices and stuff like that. We don't. Yahweh Shai is it. Verse 12. Then, after you've done all these things, prayer and stuff like that, then give place to the physician, for the Lord Yahweh had created that physician. The Lord created him. Let him not go from thee, for thou hast need of him. So, what did he do? He bypassed the Heavenly Father by not praying to him, and then he went strictly to the physician. Even though the Lord created him, let me read on. There is a time when in their physician hands there is good success. So there is a time when they have good success, right? Why? Verse 14. For they shall also pray unto Yahweh, that he would prosper that. Yeah, that's it. Because they also pray to Yahweh, which they give for ease and remedy to prolong life. He that sinneth before his maker, let him fall into the hand of the physician. So the thing that Uzzah had was because of sin. And the Most High said, neglect not the Lord in the time of thy illness, in the time of your diseases. But he neglected the Lord, and he bypassed the Lord even by just going straight to the physician instead of praying himself. He was most likely very, very angry at the Lord. He didn't want to have nothing to do with him. But you know what's crazy? Because that often happens, and then you're going to make it worse for yourself, You're going to make it worse for yourself because, you're going to harden your heart and your mind toward him, and he's going to punish you more. So it's a lose-lose, man, If you read other scriptures, you will see that the Most High was judging, I forgot who it was, he was judging him, and then he said, you're going to die very soon. And then he changed all his ways. And then the Most High prolonged his life like 7 years more than he was going to die. He was going to die. The Lord said next week, something like that, you're going to die. And then he was afraid, like, no. And Okay, I'll change my ways. He changed his ways all right. And then the Most High prolonged his life. He was very happy because he knew he was going to die. He was feeling sick already, like weak. Oh man, it's getting dark in here. Oh my goodness, I'm going to die. Then the prophet came and told him, yeah, you sinned. Really? I'm not going to do it again, man. Pray. And started doing good in the name of Yahweh. And the Most High prolonged his life, man. You know? So, yeah. He could have done it with him, but Asa was too angry. He was too angry. Yet in his disease, he sought not to Yahweh, but to the physician. And Asa slept with his fathers and stuff like that. And then you had, in his death, he had all... Wait, let me read it for you. And Asa slept with his fathers and died in the 41st year of his reign. So 40 and 1 and 40. And they buried him in his own sepulchres, which he had made for himself in the city of David, and laid him in the bed, which was filled with sweet odors, and diverse kinds of spices prepared by the, I don't know what apocaries art. And what is the apocaries? This thing. Physicians and the apocaries working with herbs, bottles, and make not potions of magic, man, or potion of pollution or the devil shit. No, you have the two sides. One does it for good in the name of Yahweh, and the other does it for bad in the name of Satan, with witch magic and witchcraft and stuff like that, you know? Just like the rainbow, there's two sides. The one holy covenant from the Heavenly Father that promised us he wouldn't kill us with water anymore since the days of Noah. And then you have the other one, which is, Esau has a little thing. So yeah. Okay, so that. And they made a very great burning for him. Right. I don't think they burned him, if I'm correct. Because Israelites, we don't burn bodies. We take the bones. Even Joseph, his bones was carried from out of Mizraim into the land of Israel. Exodus 13. So it says here, and Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, Yahweh will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away hence with you. I don't want my bones to be here. Carry me with you. And they did, because we did that. Right. So, okay. I think I'm done with that one. And now I will read another chapter. Let me see. It's about Asa again. And let me see. Yeah, I'm going to make another video.